Okay.
Facebook. So let me go on there and let it go live on YouTube. How was your day today?
Good.
Good, good. Okay, now we're live on YouTube. Let me go on and stream it to Facebook. Share Facebook. And also to Cindy and Sean. Let me see if I'm gonna tag y'all so you can share it to your page as well.
Can I hear you?
Yeah, they can hear me. Here we go, Lavana. And Cindy, you will have to go to Vanna's page to see it because I'm not friends with you on Facebook, so it's not gonna come up for you. Okay. So I'm about to share it now. Okay.
Okay, I see it on there.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. See if I can find that video. Okay.
Now, are the viewers able to comment?
Yeah. Yeah, they're able to comment.
Okay.
So let's get started. So, hey, y'all, this is Leotis Hightower and Lavana Erwan. Is that
Palmer?
Palmer, my bad, Lavana Palmer. Thank you all for joining us. Her and I had a conversation talking about men should pay all the bills. And it was a post on her Facebook page. And it started with a guy. Matter of fact, I'm going to display the video so y'all can actually hear the video. But it ended up turning into somewhat of debate. And it wasn't so much of a debate, but it was mainly a stereotype that I see quite often that I feel like that keeps the black man and black woman pretty much separated. And it's due to views of, I guess, how we think a black woman should be or how a black man should be. And I think it caused a major divisive in our community. So I wanted to bring her up as well as some other people just to talk about this. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna play the video, and then from there, we're gonna go more into discussion. So let me share this so you all can see. And if you're following us, you can go to my YouTube, leotishightower.com, or you can go to Lavana's page. I also go to my Facebook page, Leotis Hightower, and you can pull it up and follow us. And if you have any questions, you can comment as well. Matter of fact, let me go on and start this watch party while we got it going on. So I have to start the watch party from my page. So let me go on and play the video so y'all can see what we're talking about. Can you see the video on your side, Vanna?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see.
You said you've been married to your wife 18 years and she ain't never paid what?
I've been married to my wife for 18 years, going on 19 years. My wife has never paid a mortgage payment. She's never paid a gas bill, electric bill. She's never paid a cable bill. She's never had to pay insurance for a car. I think all that, but that's what a fucking man does for his family. I'm not on no pedestal behind it, but that's what a man is. A man takes care of his family. My wife shouldn't have to worry about a goddamn mortgage payment. She doesn't have to worry about the lights being on, gas being on, food in the motherfucking refrigerator. She don't pay for food. She don't pay for none of that. That's my motherfucking job. You understand me? You don't have to be a pedestal to do that shit. That's what a man do, and a man don't brag about this shit. I'm not bragging at all, but that's what a fucking man does. A man got 8 children and 12 grandchildren.
Say it again. Okay.
And I've never been under one child support order in my life.
And you take care of all of them. You do for
And I do for all my kids whenever they need me. All they gotta do is call their daddy, and I'm right there. So if you meet a motherfucking nigga that can't treat you the way your father treats you, you don't need that motherfucker.
Hello, good fucking Bob. Full say it, goddamn. Okay, full say that shit, MJ.
So we gonna cut it right there. So pretty much from the video, as you can see, and you can go to our page if you want to, you can watch the video in its entirety. But that's what pretty much the conversation came from. So Lavonna had made a comment that she feel like that's a real man. And it kind of got me because I'm like, what makes him a real man just because he pays all the bills? So I want to ask you now, I got you here, what makes him a real man because he pays all the bills?
It's not the fact that he pays all the bills. It's the fact that he's being a provider. I think he's being a provider. It's a difference, like when a lot of people was commenting on the post that I made with the video, people was like kind of comparing it to a relationship. To me, it's a difference when you're married and you're in a relationship. That's two levels. When you married, you take on a totally different that you took on when you was just in a relationship. To me, paying the bills is a provider. And a lot of people, well, one other person that was on that post said, well, that just gives her a reason to sit on her ass and not do nothing all day. That man didn't say nothing about her not working. He didn't say nothing about her not taking care of other stuff. Everybody was just looking at the fact that he said he paid the mortgage, the bills, her car insurance, put food on the table. It's other stuff to be taken care of too. It's not only the bills.
Okay. So it's not only the bills, and I agree with you on that, but to say he's a real man, that makes him a real man because he pays all the bills. What about the other fathers that's providing, that's probably not paying all the bills, but they're providing for their family?
If you can do it like he can do it, I think you should. I know that everybody can't do that. You know, maybe they're not making the money that he was making. But if you can do it, I think you should do it.
Why is that?
Because you being a provider. I think it's being a provider. When you take on the role of being married, you go into the altar and you saying, hey, I want to be the head of household. Being a head of household is what? Providing.
Okay.
And making sure that your family has a roof over their head, making sure that your family has food on the table, making sure that your utilities is running. That's a part of being that's a part of being a provider. I mean, I don't know if other people have a different definition of being a provider, but to me, that's being a provider.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because I noticed in that video, and it talks a little bit, he talks a little bit more about all the bills he pays, such as car payments, car insurance, getting their hair, getting their nails done. Is that part of providing?
Did he say anything about getting her?
Yeah, he said he paid all the bills.
Getting her
He paid all the bills, which once again, if that's what he want to do, it's not a problem. But the issue that I had with it is the statement you made that's a real man. Which minimized.
I just said 1,000 in the top of my post.
Okay.
I said 1,000. He was being 1,000 with it. He was being real.
Okay.
Like, I don't think, I mean, getting your hair done, no, that's not a need. All that other stuff that he said that he paid is a need. And I think that when you are married, like I said, it's a difference between being married and being in a relationship. But when you are married, you are supposed to ensure that your family's needs are met. And that includes making sure they have a roof over their head, making sure that the utilities is running, and making sure that they have food, clothing. He didn't say nothing about that. How we know that the wife is not taking care of all of the other stuff?
We don't know. But in your thread, the conversation kind of went a different way because people asked about what if the woman is working? And you said that don't matter if she's working. But once again, you got this man providing, as you stated, paying all these bills. But where's the community? Where's the relationship? Where's the teamwork? Is the man just made just to be a provider for just paying bills?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But I said that that's a part of being a provider, because when people get married, the first thing, that's a part of your vows. You know, you got to make sure your household is right. You got to take care of your wife. Same, I mean, I know it's vows that the woman takes too, but if you are a man, you are supposed to be the head of household. When you are married, you are the head of the household, and that's making sure that your family's needs are met. And everything that he said that he does is making sure that their needs are met. Now, as far as the hair and the nails and all the recreational stuff, that's different. But the needs of a family, yes. I think that he should be doing that. He should be.
Okay.
Now, I know that especially if you got it, if you can do it, then you need to be doing it.
Wow,
I know that.
really?
I think so, yes. Because that's a part of being the head of the household. How you gonna walk around telling people I'm the head of my household, or I'm the man of my house, but you're not? I mean, I think that's a part of being a provider. That's a part of providing.
Okay. You sure you're not getting head of household with claiming status for our tax exemptions and all that? Because
No.
I don't file head of household, but I'm the head of household and I provide. But all that extra shit, that's more of a want.
We're not talking about taxes.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay.
And like you were saying, and the other guy that was on the post was saying, you know, well, days and times have changed, and this is, you know, pretty much this is 2019. That was back in the day. That man on that video didn't look very old to me. I mean, yeah, days and times have changed, but that's because people made it like that. People got this mentality that because they're doing what they're supposed to do, I'm gonna say brothers, men have this mentality that I'm doing because they're doing what they're supposed to do, is this woman is using him, or this woman is trying to get him for his money, because he mentioned that in his comment too on that post. The other guy that was on there, I'm not gonna say no name.
Right.
But that gives her a reason to sit on her ass every day and not do nothing, and her being lazy. She can cook, I can cook too. Or, you know, it's women is so busy trying to chase the bag. I mean, that's just what the mentality, of a lot of men, that's the mentality of a lot of men. They think that when they're doing what they're supposed to do, it's a woman is using them. When it's not. You shouldn't even be having that thought in your head, number one, if you're married. Now, I can't speak on relationships outside of being married. Yeah, if you're in a relationship, maybe it should be split or however y'all do it, you know. But when you marry, why would you even have the mentality that your wife is using you? I mean, if you don't go in, you shouldn't even go into a marriage thinking like that.
I agree with you on that. And I think that's to each his own right there. And if so, that's mainly some other issues going on with that. Yeah. But let's do this. Let's bring some other people on it, because we got some other people on the line. And let's bring up let me do this. Is it Cindy? We're gonna bring Cindy up. Sydney, and I gotta see Mr. Cowles. I don't want to bring you up just yet. I'm gonna bring you up in a minute. We got Mr. Cowles, which is a therapist, but Cindy, if you would come on, Cindy, and I want to ask you a question since we have you on here. Now, you've heard everything that we've been going back and forth talking about.
Yes.
From a woman's standpoint, tell me, what's your definition of a real man?
It can work both ways as far as marriage and relationships, because I agree with my cousin Lavonna, because when a man asks that woman for their hand in marriage, especially going to their parents stating that they're going to take care of their daughter or whomever and make sure they provide what they need, that's a man. Regardless of the wants, we need the needs. As far as the household being taken care of, food being provided, utility, in and everything. But the guys never said what's behind the scene. If that woman is working, she could be paying for the utilities. She could be buying food. She could be buying clothing. No one ever brought that up to the table.
No, they didn't bring it up. They just kept saying what he's doing. That's what a real man supposed to do. That's a real man right there, which to me, it minimized the other men who probably not in that position to do that, but is still providing for their families.
And
so
then
that's why I asked, what's your definition of a real man?
a real man is a provider that's going to be there to make sure everything's taken care of as far as income and bringing up the kids and guiding the children in the right direction. Because that's also what a female point of view does as well. But on the flip side of that, maybe he can't pay the mortgage or utility because the wife probably could be making more money.
Right.
That's when the team unity come together.
Right.
Like, babe, I'm gonna take care of the mortgage, utilities, loans. You come on the flip side, buy the groceries, so forth. So you got to come as a team. Because some people don't look along those lines as far as, hey, I'm marrying you, but this is a business. Love making can come later on, but we got to handle business. We got these kids to take care of. We got to keep a roof over our heads. So you got to come as a team, as a unit.
I agree with you on that. And I would say, first of all, thank you for your comments. And this is Leo the Side Tower Vanna, Cindy, and I got a couple of people, Mr. Sean Davis and Matt Cowles on here. And pretty much we're just talking about the black man, the black woman, how we view each other. And we're having this conversation because we notice that it's a big stigma and it's a common misconception what the black man's supposed to do, what the black woman's supposed to do. And once again, as I stated, I think it causes a major divisive that keeps us from being together. So we wanted to have this conference call and talk about the different views. And hopefully we can come to some type of happy medium where we can pretty much squash the stigma of what a black man and black woman is supposed to be. So I'm gonna bring up Mr. Sean Davis, who's the next person we got as a panelist. And Sean, if you would bring your video and bring your sound up, brother.
Salam, everyone.
Hey, Sean.
What's up, man? Hey, man, you've been sitting here listening to the conversation that we've been having.
Yes,
and,
sir, I have.
Know you very well, and actually, you about to get married soon.
Yes.
And, so because of that, you've been in a relationship as well as you going into marriage. Let me ask you, do you think it's right that the man pay all the bills?
I do. But I also think that with this caveat, though, let me tell you, as you're well aware, I was married to a woman for almost 20 years that didn't work the whole time we were together. I worked 3 jobs at points in my life where I was getting 2 hours sleep. So my 6 kids could make sure they were taken care of because I was a real man and doing what a man is supposed to do, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I did not have a helpmate, which caused me to build resentment, caused me to get distant, and caused me to really regret the idea of being with this individual. Okay, so now I'm with a woman who, in all full disclosure, makes more money than me, but I still try to pay a majority of the bills. Does that make me less of a man? No, I'm still the man and I'm still the head of my household. Now the dynamic has changed. What I feel like is a lot of black men are jaded to the aspect of a woman's perspective. They are so jaded that every woman is a gold digger and a money bag chaser, that all they want to do is get a brother for his money. There's plenty of them out there like that. But again, it goes back to your energy. If that's what you putting out, that's what you gonna get.
Right.
So if you get a woman that truly wants to be with you for you, you gonna build something. And it don't matter if you call yourself a real man or not, you gonna build something. Like I said, the woman I'm with now makes way more money than me, but does that bother her? No, I'm still the head of my household. So again, it goes back, as black women need to be a little more easier on the idea of dealing with a brother that might not be financially stable as far as they want him to be. Because you can take a man that is a hard worker and convert that man into, and push that man into something where he couldn't even imagine himself without you. You got to understand, a black woman is the rib of a black man. You can't have one without the other.
Yes, sir.
You cannot have one without the other. So let me tell you, you take that black man and you get the right black woman with that black man, there's nothing that can't be accomplished. So a lot of black women are hung up on the idea that if he ain't got that 6-figure job and that 6-pack, they don't want to bother with him. Right. That doesn't make him less of a man. And I'm not blaming women. You want to be in a position where you feel secure. Every man
Right.
is supposed to make that woman feel secure. But a man cannot make a woman feel secure if she comes into the relationship already jaded.
Right.
You understand it? No matter what that man does, if you always have your eye looking out the door, because if some bill don't get paid on time or whatever, that man is never going to feel comfortable enough to come to you and be, hey, I need help.
Brother, you hit on a lot of good points, and actually you hit on one of the points that Vanna had mentioned. As she stated, some men view women as trying to take advantage of them. And as you stated with your first marriage, you was taking advantage of and felt like you was taking advantage of us, of yourself. And I've realized I got a lot of good partners, man. And a lot of us have been in them positions, as well as a lot of the women had been in those same positions. So because of that, it caused a major distrust. And as you stated, once you can find that helpmate and you come together, it's nothing that you can't do. But we all are so jaded in so many ways that it causes a lot of distrust.
And right now, I think the biggest issue as Blacks that we have in our relationships is we've gotten away from what our Black culture taught us to be.
Right.
We're too busy looking at other cultures. You know, we're looking at what the white people are accepting and what they are expecting, and Latinos. Everybody is looking at everybody else, but we need to look back when the time when the premise of a Black marriage was two people coming together, building on something from nothing. We don't want that no more. We don't want to build with anybody anymore. We want to have that instant gratification of that big house, that fancy car, and them fancy clothes. If men and women would quit worrying about buying Gucci, Prada, and them Louboutin shoes, and take that money and go put a down payment on a house and put it back in their communities, we wouldn't have to worry about a lot of the stuff going on in our communities right now, and the discord between Black men and Black women. It's just bottom line, there's nothing better than a Black woman.
Not at all. Not at all.
Nothing. You cannot tell me it's nothing better than a Black woman. And I think for majority of Black women, they feel like nothing better than Black men. The discord now has come, or the disconnect, I should say, has come because we are now, social media has now put us in a position to where we expect the payday with the relationship. And you can't have the payday without the relationship, and you can't have the relationship without the payday now. You got to gut that out. Take a brother or a sister for where they are and build.
So let me ask you, as a matter of fact, we're going to end up changing topics. I'm going to bring Mr. Cowles up because you brought up a good point. But I want to go back to Sydney. Sydney, you have anything you want to add to that?
No, he's correct, because when you come together, you got to start building a foundation together in order for it to work. And some of our people has lost the way as far as communication. Communication is the key. Before you say I do, you need to set down a game plan of what your aspect or what you want out of life. You know, what is the game plan? What are our goals? So we can achieve it from the ground up. And a lot of people have went opposite directions because that's not what they want. They have gotten away from the Black community and traveling to others' side of life. You might see a Black man married to a white woman because they don't want to go through that struggle with an African-American female. Or it can be vice versa. I'm not saying it's all on one side, that it's all males, and I'm not saying it's all female. It's both sides of the fence.
Right.
So.
Okay. Vanna, you got anything you want to add before we change topics?
No, I'm glad that he mentioned the fact that a lot of these men are looking at women as gold diggers. They got to get out of that mentality. Every Black woman out here is not a gold digger and is not looking to chase a bag. It is not like that, but it seems like most Black men think that when they are taking care of their responsibility, that it's the woman trying to get over on them, and it's not always that. I mean, and like I said, if you're married, you shouldn't even be going into a marriage with that mentality anyway. If you thinking that, don't even go to the altar, because your marriage is gonna be screwed the whole time. Or you gonna, every time I do something, they gonna have it in their head when they do something for you. Oh, she gold digging, or baby, can you pay this bill? The light bill is due.
Or baby, give me my money back.
Right, or what have you paid? Or no, it shouldn't be like that. I think that there's nothing wrong with what the guy said on the video. I see no issue with him saying that he pays all the bill. Now, like I was saying earlier, if they are not able to do it, they're not. Everybody is not able to do it like that. But I feel like if you have it to do it, you need to be doing it.
Now, I agree with you. If a man is capable of taking care of his woman and household fully by himself, he should do that. And going back to a point you made earlier, that a lot of brothers do feel like women are trying to be gold diggers. That's a mentality that has been bred into a lot of Black men through the social construct of what's out there. You look at the music videos, it's all about the women, guy with the big chain and the fancy car gets the woman. There's never a video out there of a brother coming off that trash truck and a woman walking up talking about, oh, I think you fine, can I get your phone number? You ain't gonna never see that. So we need to in turn change the way our Black men think, but we also need to change the ideal that our women are not worthy enough.
Yep.
Because a lot of brothers feel like if a Black woman is just about, like you said, gold digging. And if that is the case, we need to change our ideal on what a Black woman is, because a Black woman is the most valuable product on this earth. And a lot of brothers have gotten away from understanding that and relishing that idea. They just they looking at you from the physical standpoint. And again, it goes back society. We're looking at women as a sexual object or just a physical object. And we need to quit that. We need to relish our women and just love our women for what a Black woman is, a queen of this earth. We got to get back to that.
I would say,
let me say something too. I don't know if this was something that you were going to bring up, but we mentioned it. I mentioned it when I posted the video. I was saying how I work with a lot of families, just in my full-time job. And a lot of them are of other races, and you don't see that in other races. Like, I go to people's homes on a regular, or, just communicate with families of other races, and the man is taking care of it all. And they don't have that mentality that a lot of the brothers have. Right. They do it and keep it pushing. I mean, you got offended, you kind of got offended by me saying
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I was comparing it, but it's the truth. It's the truth. They don't have the mentality that the brothers have. Yeah,
I'm glad you touched on that. And I was trying not to go there, but you went there. So yeah, I did get offended. Okay. And in a minute, we're gonna bring Matt Cowles up, the therapist. But I got offended because to compare the Black man to any other race, I think is very unfair, because the Black man and the Black woman has been pretty much brutalized, been raped, been pillaged, and they still doing this to us. So to compare the Black man to other races, I don't think it's fair, because we don't make the same amount of money that they make. We don't have the same opportunities that they have, and they still building off our back. So to compare that, I thought was a low blow to compare a Black man to any other race.
Okay, now let me piggyback off of that. Okay, so how do you think that it makes a Black woman feel for a man to constantly say, you just want me for my money? All y'all do is chasing the bag? Because they don't say that about Caucasian women, but the Black women is always...
Yes, they do.
Well, okay, I say I haven't heard it. But But for a Black man, how do you think that makes a Black woman feel for a brother to say, y'all gold diggers, or y'all chasing the bag?
It makes them feel bad.
Y'all don't want to work, or y'all don't want to do that. Or even worse, how do you think it feels for a Black man? This is something different, but it's still in the same line. How do you think it feels for a Black man to come to a Black woman and say, I'm gonna go get me a white woman because they do more than the Black women do, or they'll do what we say do, or they'll do this and they'll do that. Those are low blows.
Well, it goes back to what you comparing that as almost on the same lines. But what you're talking about as far as the gold digging, just to be honest with you, I have a lot of friends that's single parents and a lot of friends that, this is males, that take care of their kids. And a lot of the issues that they have, it revolves around money. It's not even about the kids, it's about money. So because of that, it makes Black men, including myself in the past, very resistant to even getting a relationship because everything seems to revolves around money. And it's not even about the family, it's not even about the kids, but it's money. And I meet a lot of brothers that's in that same situation. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring Mr. Cowles up. Mr. Cowles, if you would, bring yourself on, unmute your microphone and bring your video on.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cowles, how you doing there?
Going on, family? How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, brother. Good seeing you again.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. It's been a while.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Congratulations on the wedding. Well, the
Thank you.
upcoming wedding. Good job, man. You
So,
gonna
Mr.
give me hope.
Giving us all hope, yes. So you've been listening to the conversation we've been having, and we just went into another topic. And the topic we was talking about is actually two topics, but we go back to the topic with the gold digging. A lot of Black women say Black men look at them as gold diggers. From a man's standpoint, what would you say in regards to that?
As far as what, like, I think women think of men as that way, or vice versa.
Versus what Fine Wine 100 said. She said most Black men look at Black women as gold diggers. And my thing about it is, I have a lot of friends that's either single parents or they're raising their kids, but the issues they have revolves around money. It's not about the kids, it's not about the family. What is your take on that?
And that's an unfair question, and I say that only because no, because you know what? There's so many factors at play, man. Yeah, some Black men think Black women are gold diggers, and vice versa. But there's things that happen that make each of us feel that kind of way. It could be this big, could be like, you know, whatever we have experienced. You know, like what if I experienced a lady, a Black woman, and she did me dirty? Well, I'm going to probably, if it happened more than once, I'm probably going to, you know, kind of equate that to most Black women. It is not fair, but women do the exact same thing to men. So that's a hard question to answer, man. Fairly, I think as a whole, I think y'all said it a lot earlier that we treat each other wrong, and we see each other the wrong way. And like you said, Sean, you know, I mean, there's a lot of no love. There's no Black love, and then there's no self-love. So if, as a, you know what I'm saying, man, like as a people, if we don't love ourselves, how are we gonna love somebody else? So if, as a Black man, man, I don't love myself, there's no way in hell I'm a love a Black woman.
Facts.
Straight, you know, I mean, that's just how it's, you know, so then because I don't love myself, the white girl looks good because I see her better, or the Asian girl, or the whatever she is. It comes to the way that we see ourselves. So it's not like Black men don't like Black women or vice versa. Just that it's that self-hate, man, and ladies. So that's my opinion on it. So it's kind of deeper than just, you know, just that gold digger thing, man.
So what is your take on the husband or the man paying all the bills?
My take is, honestly, no, seriously though, it depends on what the couple come up with. So if one couple says that you know, says that this man, that they agree that the man should do this, and both are in agreement, then that's what it is. But if early on they, you know, I mean, it just, not every couple is going to be the exact same. So it's going to be some variations. If both people are working, why can't both people be a part of, you know, building or paying off the bills or paying for the mortgage? And, you know, I mean, there's a way to look at the money. So if one person, because nowadays both people are working more. So it's not like it was years ago when the woman stayed home and the man paid all the bills. That's just because women wasn't working. But now women are working. And like most women make more than men. So it kind of doesn't make sense if she makes more money and I'm paying all the bills, then I'm gonna go say, hey baby, I paid all the bills, I'm broke. Can I get $400 for the month? You know, it's
That's what you're supposed to do. That's a real man.
no, it's
That's what you're supposed to do.
no.
But how do we know? Okay, and this is just an example. Okay, so in the video, he said he pay all the bills, make sure, you know, the mortgage is paid, make sure food is on the table, pay the car insurance and blah, blah, blah. So say for instance, she is working. How do we know that her money could be going into a savings for them? Or
For them or for her?
For them. And see,
That's the question.
That's the issue. A lot of men are thinking that, oh, I'm paying all the bills because you said it. I'm paying all the bills while she's stacking her money, and then when she leave me, she got debt free, got all the money, and I'm starting over.
Hey, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
You know what? That's kind of, you know what? I hate to say that, but
I didn't see the dude pay all the bills. She's stacking her money, and when it's time for her that she's done with him, she's gone. And he's done, he's holding the bag.
But everybody is taking a risk in a marriage.
It's not a risk if you're the one paying all the bills. What's the risk?
But I'm saying you taking a risk. You shouldn't even be going into your marriage thinking, I mean, you shouldn't even be, if you're gonna be thinking like that, don't get married. And that's just how I look at it.
But see, here's the thing though. A lot of the brothers that think like that are not fully developed themselves mentally or emotionally. They're still little boys playing a man's role.
I agree.
Okay. Now, Max, something you said earlier about loving yourself, I had gotten to the point where I didn't like myself because of who I had become, because of the relationship I was in. So I totally agree with what you said. Now, the woman I'm with now has brought about a change in me that is phenomenal. And the love that I have for myself is truly reflected on how I treat her and my children now. So I totally agree with what you said on that, because now I love myself more than I ever have. And I'm so comfortable with myself now. And that's where a lot of Black men are not at, because we have so many contributing factors on the external side of us that we're always competing to try to get the biggest car, the nicer clothes, the better job. So we are always feeling inadequate in ourselves. Then we have a woman that's telling us we ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
That affects us. So then we start that self-loathing. That's got to change too. So I totally agree. And if a man is able to take care of his woman, in my situation, I pay a majority of the bills. What I can't pay, she helps. When I'm short, she takes over. You know, that's just the way we work. We got a good combination, you know, but a lot of people need to get to that level.
Exactly.
I agree.
Right, man. I think you're so right. And it goes back to that emotional level. You know, most Black men, we are emotional. I mean, we are immature, you know, and so I think Hightower said earlier that, you know, like you can't expect for a man, a male boy, I guess, or a grown, whatever you want to call it, to act like a man if he's not mature. It takes maturity to be married or to be like faithful at the very least. So there is a maturity level, I think, that a lot of Black men don't have. And I hate to say that, but a lot of immaturity. So a lot of kid stuff. So we're gonna do kid things, chasing the streets, doing all of this stuff, because we're immature.
And let me ask you, why you think that is?
Why I think it is?
Why you think a lot of men are immature, are not fully developed as far as manhood?
Man, that's a system issue, man. And what I mean by that, there's a lot of factors in play, man.
Right.
It could be the school systems, you know, when we really young. Could be just the family dynamics or the lack of family structure. Could be what we see growing up, you know, is like nothing good about, you know, like me. Most of the males in my family were in prison. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you think about being a man. I didn't have a whole lot of role models except for my father, but other than that, I didn't really have nobody. So it's just so many factors though, you know. And then it goes back to this self-love, man. I'm telling you, man, this goes back to self-love as a people. So if there's that conflict, man, Black women and Black men will always have an issue. And it's not because of the other, it's just because of ourselves, man. And that's the bottom line.
Because and to piggyback off of that, so a lot of Black men are raised by single mothers, and they're coddled, and they're not made to be grown acting or self-sufficient well into their 30s. And then the stereotypes that are put out of what Black men are. We're the sexual beast, you know, and we're the gangsters and the thugs, you know. Everything that's in media now does not portray us in a positive light. So when a young man is growing up and he's trying to find his way, and I'm telling you this from experience, you're looking at all the aspects that you see in media, and then the older guys that are around you are portraying what you see on TV and in movies. You're going to pick that habit up and try to be that.
Yep.
And that's where a lot of brothers are immature at an old, because it's you know, hey, and y'all gonna laugh at me about this, but one of my favorite shows to watch on Saturday morning is Cheaters. I don't know if anybody knows that show. But I like to watch that show on Saturday mornings. It is shocking to me how many brothers in their 50s, 60s are still out there trying to cheat.
Yep.
You know, at that age, you need to be playing with your grandkids, not trying to get a side piece. So again, it just, what we have is to reflect on as role models. It needs to change. Now, I will say in this younger generation, they are coming back around and establishing marriage again and monogamy. So I commend this younger generation for that. But we as older Black men have to kind of set the narrative too for what is acceptable and what is not acceptable.
Agree. And also,
Right.
I want to say one thing. I know a whole lot of sisters, good women, a whole lot of good women out there. And so I don't think all Black women are gold diggers or alpha, you know, I know a whole lot of good women, a whole lot of them. So I would never say that all Black women are bad or gold diggers. Because like you, I mean, Black women, they serve what they are. Closest thing to God, to me. You know, they godly.
Real talk, real talk.
I want to read one of the comments that was made on the post by one of the guys. I mean, it was only a few guys that commented on it. And the few of them that did, you know, it was like, oh no, what's she paying? You know, it just, I don't know. Okay, so
What's the comment?
What's the
Read the comment.
Okay. So the first comment he made, he goes, well, what did she do? What did she do then? I need to know something. And then he goes, I'm just saying things are different now. Women nowadays would look at that as an opportunity to sit on their ass. House and kids being taken care of is easy. That's mostly a school and daycare thing. I had a problem with that, first of all, because school and daycare do not raise your kids. And if you let kids, you got a parenting problem. I hope a woman can cook, but I can cook. This is some old days stuff right here. While he was paying all those bills and working on that same job for 20 years, I hope someone was saving and putting into a 401k or their home is paid off. This is old Negro mentality.
Wow. That sounds like a brother that's been burnt.
Yep.
And very insecure and does not want to share, doesn't play well with others.
Oh, and then he goes, these women are out here selling their souls to chase a bag. Oh, she gonna pay something.
You know, that guy sounds immature, and I bet you he's meeting women like that because of the energy that he's putting out.
Yep.
And I only say that because I remember a period of time where I was attracting, you know, not the best type of woman, and it's because of my energy. I was putting out that, I mean, my vibe, I guess, attracted that type of woman, and so he's probably in a bad place, so he's gonna attract those women and have those type of experiences. But now that I'm older and more calmer, I guess, I see a lot of beautiful women that's in a good place and will be good wives. So I mean, that's just not that I'm in a different place.
Just like the woman that says there are no good brothers out there. It's not all the brothers is bad. It's just the brothers you messing with.
Exactly.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it's what you put out is what you bring in.
Exactly. So.
Do we have any people, any viewers that's commenting on this or have any input?
Let me see.
Hmm.
Not
Hey,
on my
Sean,
page. Go to your
another
page and
note.
see if any.
Hey, Sean,
Yes, sir.
does your like fiance have a sister?
You know, I'm just gonna be 100 with you. You don't want it, bro.
Oh no!
You ever be with one person, then meet the rest of the family, and it's like, shit, you ain't adopted?
Don't say that. Don't say that, man. Don't say that, man. We live. Don't say that yet.
But I will tell you, I will tell you,
Amazing.
she's got a friend that I wouldn't mind trying to set you up with.
Okay, we might see what we do.
We'll get together
Love
on that other
connections
level.
on Zoom now, huh?
Exactly.
Black love,
This is
man.
not what this forum is for.
But I will, in full disclosure, I will tell you, I worship the ground my woman walks on. She has changed my life in a way that I never thought possible. And she has brought a joy and pleasure to my life that is otherworldly.
There you go.
That's what's up, man.
It is.
That's what's up.
The blessing.
Very much.
So were you gonna go into another subject and I cut you off with the black men versus other races thing?
If you still want to go down that rabbit hole, we can, but I was trying to leave it alone. But on that note, I would say it's not a good comparison, and don't want to get too deep. But a lot of that goes back to just, as Mr. Cal said, a lot of it's systematic, and we got a lot of brothers and sisters that's broken. So when we start comparing, you know, the black woman to the white woman and black men, I don't think it's right, because I agree with my brothers. There's nothing like a black woman, and I wouldn't trade you all nothing for the world, but take that low blow to compare us to the white man and other races is not a fair comparison. It's not at all.
It's not a fair comparison for these men to be telling us, I'm gonna give me a white woman because she gonna do everything I say. Or
Well, I would say typically those men that say that is the men that you probably really don't want to be with in the first place.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen on that? If a brother tells a sister, I'm gonna go get me a white girl, you don't want them anyway.
Yeah.
You don't.
I agree, but it's men out here that say it. I hear it, you know, all the time. I've always heard, you know, men, you know, say, oh, well, white women, you know, even have sex better. They do anything I say in the bed. And now, you know, it's always the white woman. And I don't know if people, you know, say it to their girlfriends or whatever to piss them off or what it be. But men say it.
And those brothers that say that are the brothers that are not secure in themselves. See, the old myth that a black woman is a strong woman is very true. And
I
you
agree.
cannot be old Rudy Boot, punk ass, excuse my French, brother and get with a black woman, because a black woman is going to expect certain things from you and she is going to demand a certain level of excellence out of you.
Right.
Not going to do. So you can go over there and be complacent with that white woman, whereas that sister ain't gonna let that go. You can be disrespectful to that other woman but that sister ain't gonna let that go. And that's just, it takes a real man to handle a black woman. And that's just the bottom line. So let that brother, if he want to get him a white girl, let him, because you ain't gonna want him no way. Because he probably gonna be sitting there playing on the video game 22 hours a day and not washing his tail. Sisters ain't gonna deal with that. Let that brother go on.
So I want to propose this question to Sydney and LaVonna. Why do black women berate and belittle black men? That's one of the questions that came from off social media.
Can you repeat that question?
Why does black women belittle and berate our black men?
I don't.
I
love
don't.
black men. I would never date another race.
Let me ask it a different way. Not so much you per se, and you probably have friends that you probably see or hear that berate black men. What is their reason and why do they do that?
It's probably because of how they're being treated by whatever black man they're dealing with.
Right. They laying on their butts, not doing anything, because Vonna, by you going into other people's homes and seeing how their lifestyles are, well, I'm on the opposite end, whereas people are coming in for assistance every 90 days because they don't want to work. They got their hands out. They're expecting their lady friends to do all the work while they're sitting at home not doing anything. And that's how they are, I want to say, portray on talking about whomever. And it can go not just from one race, it can go a race across the board when you're dealing with men, both men and women.
I think it's the people, the men that they have dealt with. They just haven't got the right men.
Right.
They're not dealing with a man, they're dealing with a grown kid.
Right.
Agreed.
Because
that's just the thing.
Because I'm not gonna be dealing with somebody that's lazy and I'm taking care of everything. Because if I got 2 jobs, you best believe you better have 2 jobs too.
Yeah.
If not, if you want to be with somebody else, there's the door. Because Freddie Houston and Cody Harris didn't raise nobody's fool.
Okay.
But it's just they not meeting the right person. If you have something negative to say about every black man, it's the people that you've been dealing with.
Right.
So I don't know what they need to do. Maybe they need to change their lifestyle. I mean, I don't know. Because it's obviously you attracting the wrong people.
Well, they need to quit trying to find a man at the club on Saturday night.
Right.
You know,
Or in the parking lot of the club, or the
Parking lot pimping.
Yeah. Trying to hook up with the brother at IHOP at 3 o'clock in the morning. No.
Hey, we down to 4 minutes. So the last 4 minutes, I just want to take us out. Well, I want you all to take us out. What can we do as the black men and black women, the bridge that gap versus cabinet devices? Starting off with you, Sydney, what can we do to come closer together?
Need to be honest with oneself, love each other, and have open discussion and communication. Communication rules the nation, knowledge as well. So,
okay. Brother Sean.
I think for us to come together, we need to put down our facade of what we need and what we want and get real with what is actually our need and communicate, as she said before, Miss Sydney, is communicate what we need, not the video stuff, but what really makes us tick.
Okay. Ms. Vonna.
I agree as far as the communication, that's the key. And I think that, as far as relationship wise and going into marriages, which led us to this conversation on who paying what, I think that you need to put your expectations down before you even step into a relationship. And number one, you got to be able to take care of yourself